Hey there, and welcome to Recap Mania. Today, I'm going to explain the movie called The Queen's Corgi, where the Queen's favorite pooch desperately tries to return home to Buckingham Palace. So, let's dive right in. The movie begins with Prince Philip giving his beloved wife and Queen a present, a puppy. Queen Elizabeth has always loved corgis, so she, along with Nelson, Margaret, and Charlie, her other corgis, welcome Rex into Buckingham Palace. From then on, it becomes clear that Rex is the Queen's favorite. Her love makes her neglect the other corgis and Prince Philip just so she can pet her favorite pooch. In the process, Rex becomes spoiled and incredibly entitled. Unfortunately, even after some years go by, Rex doesn't lose his petulant attitude. Perhaps it's because the Queen still loves him. One day, the Queen prepared for a visit from Donald Trump. Rex doesn't care, he just wants the Queen's attention. Although Prince Philip and the palace staff hate him for it, he doesn't care. After all, he's the top dog. Nelson tells Rex that being top dog isn't all fun and games. After all, when he was top dog, he once saved the royal family from a fire. Rex and his best friend Charles don't care about Nelson's banter. Rex is so cute. He doesn't need to be heroic. He's so popular. His photo is on everything, even the royal train. Moments later, the Buckingham Palace receives Donald Trump. The royal corgis race to the Queen, and after some chaos, they receive the president along with the First Lady and Mitzi, her hideous corgi. The horror begins when the president reveals that they're looking for a mate for Mitzi. To Rex's dismay, Mitzi picks him. Rex is dreading the moment, and once it actually arrives, Rex refuses to mate with Mitzi. Mitzi refuses to take no for an answer, so Rex runs off. This results in a chase around the entire palace, with the chaos eventually ending when they end up underneath the table, with the royal couple and their guest. Unfortunately, Rex accidentally bites Donald Trump. As this brings the dinner to a close, the Queen punishes Rex by putting him in the doghouse. Upset that he isn't the top dog anymore, Rex mopes and moans about his plight to Charlie. Charlie encourages him to run off to the Pope's house. Together, they sneak out into the streets with the hope of getting to the Vatican. Once they're out of the palace, Charlie tells Rex to take his top dog collar off before sneaking out through a hole in the fence. Soon they end up in St. James Park, where they escape from some geese before climbing onto a bridge. Frightened, Rex regrets leaving Buckingham Palace, but it's too late. Charlie reveals his true nature by pushing Rex off the bridge into the frozen river. This is his chance to become top dog. After doing that, he uses a brick to break the ice, thereby sending Rex to his doom. Thinking Rex is dead, Charlie returns home. He's unaware that Rex is rescued by a man named Sanjay. Once Rex wakes up from his fever dream, he realizes that he's at a vet. Thinking that he's a stray, Sanjay takes him to a dog shelter. Unfortunately, despite trying to tell the shelter handler that he's the corgi on his mug, and that he doesn't belong there, he's placed in a cage within the dog shelter. There he meets Jack and Chief, who do not recognize him as the Queen's top dog. They don't believe him, and they do not care. This is the doghouse, not Buckingham Palace. Back at Buckingham Palace, it's only until breakfast time that the palace realizes that Rex is missing. Meanwhile, Jack tries to console a depressed Rex, but the pooch is too desolate. Jack tells him that Rex may get placed in a new home soon, but all he wants to do is return to Buckingham Palace. However, as he can, he gets more acquainted with Jack and Chief, two lifers who have been there since forever. Moments later, Jack does his best to get picked by a kid who visits, while Rex gets excited when he thinks that the Queen came to save him. Rex rebuffs the person who picks him, and when this person turns his attention to Jack, Jack gets overexcited and pees himself. No wonder he's a lifer. How is Rex gonna get out of here? Rex is unaware that everyone back at the palace is looking for him. Charlie uses this chance to unearth Rex's collar before making it look like Rex is dead. Back at the dog shelter, a chihuahua helps the dog escape into the basement, while the shelter hand watches TV. Rex wonders why Chief and Jack just don't leave the shelter, so Jack explains that it's better to spend the winter in the shelter. Besides, it's time for Fight Club. Hosted by Tyson, the top dog who must never be crossed, the dogs watch as Boxer and Rebel go paw to paw. After taunting the Chief for being a big dog with no fight, he introduced the crowd to Wanda, who's there to dance for them. Rex falls in love immediately, despite being warned that that's Tyson's girl. Following this, the dogs watch the dogfight while the Queen decides to hold a funeral for Rex. The next day, Rex reveals that he's still smitten with Wanda. Jack tries to discourage Rex, but the corgi won't listen. During breakfast, he makes his move. Unfortunately, Wanda rejects his advances before Tyson gets rid of him. He just isn't a dog enough. Rex still insists on getting with her, but the other discourage him before the return to their cages. However, Wanda recognizes Rex on the caretaker's mug, so she starts showing interest in the Queen's royal corgi. She lies enough for him to want to take her back to Buckingham Palace. She tries to keep this relationship secret, but an excited Rex serenades her immediately. Obviously, this attracts Tyson's wrath. However, Tyson is interrupted when he tries to beat up Rex, so he signs Rex up for Fight Club. Elsewhere, the Queen buries Rex. Spotting Charlie's fake remorse, the Queen decides to make him top dog. Meanwhile, Jack tries to train Rex for the Fight Club. However, with every passing drill, it seemed to be a hopeless case. Later that night, a frightened Rex turns up at a nightclub. To his utter dismay, Rex is put up against Tyson. Tyson toys with Rex for so long that Wanda is forced to intervene. Before Tyson can attack Wanda, the shelter hands find them and send the dogs back to their cages. However, this only delayed the inevitable. The only hope is for Rex to get adopted, or for the Chihuahua to help him escape. Rex surprises them all by deciding he wants to fight Tyson. He just needs their help. Conquer the fear of Tyson and be free. Unfortunately, nobody is up for that noise. Funny enough, the next day a little girl adopts Rex. However, he runs off before helping the others face Tyson. They're nervous, but the others stand up to Tyson with him. Incredibly, the usually quiet chief knocks Tyson off his perch. Following this, Rex and Wanda escape from the pound while the others decide to stay. Back at the palace, Nelson shows his disappointment at how the palace is putting everything that reminds them of Nelson away. Meanwhile, Rex and Wanda try to tell the palace guards who Rex is, but they chase him away. He tries to re-enter the palace through the hole Charlie showed him, but they discover it's been blocked off. Wanda develops a plan and runs off. Rex gets tired of following her, so he waits for her to return, only to discover that he's been declared dead. Meanwhile, Nelson and Margaret are dismayed to learn that Charlie plans to lord over them when he's made top dog. Such a scumbag. Wanda finds a despondent Rex who's just realized how diabolical Charlie is. Fortunately, Wanda came with reinforcement. Together, the pack trick their way into the palace. Before Charlie can attend his coronation as top dog, Rex confronts him for his actions. As they try to make him confess, Charlie uses Rex's memorabilia to trap him before setting the room on fire. Moments later, Rex emerges from the rubble before saving Wanda by putting her in a floating basket. Meanwhile, Charlie arrives at his coronation. Unable to stomach what's about to happen, Nelson hides the golden collar, which slows down the coronation. This gives Wanda time to float to the others. Together, they put out the fire in the palace before helping Rex out of the chimney. The others try to stop Charlie from becoming top dog in the place of Rex, but Rex turns down the position. If Charlie wants it that bad, he can be top dog. All he wants is to be Wanda's top dog. It's at this moment that Rex is reunited with the Queen. Following this, Rex introduces the Queen to Wanda, who is moved by the dog lovers. She decides to adopt them all. Turns out it's a happy ending for everyone. Well, everyone except Charlie. He has no idea what it means to be top dog. It is revealed in the final scene that as top dog, Charlie has to mate with Mitzi. What a nightmare. That's what you get when you're top dog. So, with that, this movie recap episode has come to an end. Let us know if you are intrigued to watch the movie after seeing our recap in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon for more recaps. Till then, goodbye.